Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value, and it looks like people are looking for investment opportunities, ways to deploy money and spread it out. And I was looking through the comment section, so I've gotten them back here. And one of the questions is, I've been trying to find an approach to optimize my silver stocks. What are some different ways to approach small versus mid miners, or reasons to stay away from silver miners? I'm going to have to go back and watch some of your previous silver videos. Well, the producers are the ones that are going to definitely move when the price of silver heads on up. I see that as a low risk, high reward play. And when I mean by like these large kind of producing companies, something like a Mag Silver, First Majestic Silver, Endeavor Silver is a very good company, EXK. It's one of my favorite companies. They are still exploring. They do have a couple of mines. They are producers. So EXK is probably, that's one of my favorite companies. They're big enough where they're going to return, and they're still exploring and doing the exploration work on the side to grow production. So that's like a win-win when I see that. Hecla Mining, HL. Fortuna Silver Mines, FSM, that's not as much of a silver company. They do have some gold, a lot more gold. But those kind of mid-cap companies, that's where I put the bulk of my money. Now, if you're going to go into the smaller companies, the ones that are going to have a little bit more exploration on it, I am not as big. My money is piled into those. There is one company I really do like, Discovery Silver. They've got over 1 billion ounces in the ground. It is low grade, and it is a higher cost producer. Eric Sprott is backing it. It's one of his largest investments. And I like Eric Sprott. I think he's got I've learned a lot from him and watching some of his weekly wrap-ups over the years. And he was huge on Discovery Silver, very, very bullish on it. I became extremely bullish when looking into it. So Discovery Silver, DSVSF, that's one that I really like. They're going to make a mine out of that project. And hopefully the silver price goes up and they'll have over 1 billion ounces in the ground. 1 billion. It may even be more than that, 1.5 billion, 2 billion. We'll see. We'll see what they can prove up. Another company, there's a company next to Alexco, Metallic Minerals. That one is also one that I've been looking at, and I have a little bit of money in that. Remember, I am far more overweight on the mid-cap producers than I am on these really small ones. Discovery Silver, just because Eric's backing it, I put a pretty good stake in there. I do think if the price of silver moves, that company's going to do very well. And again, physical metals. You got to get some physical metals in your hands. This stuff is addicting when you start buying it. You'll start getting some in your hands, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you've got many more ounces than what you thought you originally were going to purchase. And the reason I just kept buying and buying and buying. And at some point I was asking myself, do I really own enough physical silver? And I just kept buying it until, deals just kept coming up. And over all the years, I've been buying silver for well over a decade. And whenever it got cheap, I just bought it. And I just kept buying it. And then I bought more. And then somebody would say, hey, look, I've got some silver here. Do you want it for $15 an ounce? I'm like, I'll take all of it. and then they would say, hey, I've got some more. My friend wants to sell some. And then I'd buy that. It's like, oh my God. So I just kept buying it. And I got it at very good prices. So that's another thing that I think you should have. Everyone should have some physical silver. Doesn't matter who you are. Get at least some in your hands. I don't care what the amount is. And if something were to go wrong, you'd be protected. So it's at least having some. I also think that I wouldn't go all the way to all these like teeny little explorer companies that you don't know much about. There's so many of them that I never. I'm not the guy that holds like a quadrillion companies, and a lot of these. There's so many silver companies that I don't think going way into the weeds and trying to find these little teeny companies are going to do any better than an EXK or a AG. In fact, I think they're going to underperform the big guys. So I'm going to stick with the bigger companies. So my plan of attack is put the majority of the money in physical silver, put a little bit less in the mid-cap producers, those bit bigger producers, and then put even less in the exploration companies that aren't producing anything. So that's been my approach. I think the approach is pretty solid, and I think you'll get the returns that you want. So they're gonna pay out very well. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.